Now, here's a very good question. When it comes to tying the knot, marrying within the same religious faith is still commonplace throughout the world, with nearly 7 in 10 married people saying that their spouse shares their same religion, according to a recent survey on Pew Research Centre. Now, how important is it to choose a partner that shares those same beliefs with you? Well, we hit the streets to find out.
I think if two people are in a relationship, they probably should share the same beliefs. I mean, it's really difficult, especially if your religions don't see eye to eye or you don't have the same beliefs. It's going to be really difficult in the long term. I mean, just both focusing on different things.
It's not important. You can be Muslim, you can be Hindi, you can be Christian.
In the long run, I honestly don't think that it would work. Especially if they're both from like staunch religious backgrounds.
I mean, certain cultures and religions do have kind of certain rules attached to them, so I think it would be best to be of the same mind.
I think before children it is actually doable, but once you do start having children and start actually like firmly establishing yourself as a married couple, then complications will arise.
Today there's a lot of different religions and people tend not to bother with it that much anymore. So yeah, I don't think it does play a big role in the relationship itself.
Well, those were your thoughts, and with us to chat about marriage and the effect that our belief systems have on our relationships, we're joined by our resident relationship therapist, Dr. Eve, and we also will be answering your questions. So give us a call on 083-9133-728, or perhaps you just want to shed some light on relationships, marriage, and religion. A very, very interesting topic, don't you think, Dr. Eve?
I think interesting is an understatement, actually, Katlego. I think that it is contentious. I think it's controversial. It stirs up emotions, and I'm looking forward to our viewers participating.
Yeah, so religion is, of course, very important to some people out there. It forms part of your core belief systems. And recent research actually suggests that marriages between members of the same religious group are more durable. They last longer than from the marriages of those people that are from different religious groups. Do you agree with that?
It's not whether I agree with it or not. I think that we have to look to science. And what research has shown us is that those kind of marriages have enormous pressure on them to stay together.
Yeah.
Because of the framework of what religion says, there are certain rules and there's certain precepts by which people live. And therefore, once you get into and I'm talking a fundamental religion, a marriage where the religion is your core framework in which you live, those really have rules that dictate how you should be living. So the pressure to stay together is much higher.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how happy those people are in those relationships, or if we can say that they're happier because they are religious relationships. I would rather say that, according to research, they're durable because they're almost pressured to have to be durable.
Yeah.
You know, divorce isn't acceptable. Monogamy is acceptable. You can't go out the relationship. You have to stay together. Even if you're kind of being beaten up, or you're really unhappy, or you don't like the dude, or you don't like the woman, you have to stay because there's so much anti-divorce and there's so much anti-breaking the sanctity of this thing called marriage.
Yeah. And as we heard with some of the views that were given to us by people on the street, it seems like with young people, that trend is kind of changing of always following that same thing, that because we're in the same religious group, we are more likely to make it work. But do you think that relationships of different faiths, or where the two people are from different faiths, can actually work?
I do. I think that they're very challenging. And it always comes down to individual communication with each other. There is so much pressure, especially when you're younger, to please family.
Yeah.
Many people struggle to let go of family and also their own beliefs and their own traditions. And yet there is this modern idea of like, I can choose whoever I want to choose. And especially in our country, where we don't have laws anymore that dictate who we can marry and who we can't marry, there is a freedom, and people are certainly exercising that freedom, and that falls into religion as well.
Yeah.
So I think that young people definitely are choosing differently. There is a challenge. I always say to couples that I work with, see it as another layer that you have to work with in your relationship, which means you just have to communicate a little better than the average person, because there are there's a huge tangible difference between somebody of a different religion. And it can filter down and can cause enormous distress and enormous dysfunction in a relationship.
Yeah. Well, we're going to continue this conversation after the break, but do give us a call, 083-9133-728. Our lines are open as we continue our chat with Dr. Eve about marriage and religion and how those two things affect each other. But right now, let's find out what else you can expect. Here's Ewan.